Good morning. I can't find my seat. Good afternoon, good whenever you guys are watching this. Welcome back to a brand new episode. As you can tell, this angle's a little bit different than what I normally start as. Normally, I start with my beautiful face on camera, but not today. Today, we're back at it again with this knife. Didn't have time yesterday to get to it, so I'm getting to it today. The past 2 days, I don't think I've had a chance to get to it. But yes, this is it, you guys. This is where we're at currently. It hasn't moved since the last time I showed you guys. Still got that spot to get. Got this spot right here to get. Need to do a little bit more thinning this way, and that'll happen obviously as I clean these up. I want to put a bit more. There's a slight taper. You can see it gets a little bit thinner here than it is up here. I want to get this a little bit thinner, a little bit more severe of a taper in there. I want to put a slight taper in this way. And then I'm going to focus today on my flats, on making sure that this is perfectly flat, that this is perfectly flat, that this is perfectly flat. This is flat, and the blade itself is flat. This knife, I'm trying to focus on the details. I know what I do well in knife making, and too often I rely on that, and I don't push myself to get better in the areas that I struggle with, and that is an area that I struggle with, is the finer details. So that's going to be my focus with this knife. I don't have a customer for this one. This is just kind of a prototype, like I said, for the small version of the Goliath, the one that I showed you in the last video, that huge one that the entire blade is the size of this knife. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm wanting to focus on making sure that I get, wow, it stands up by itself. That's fascinating. Look at that. I'm amazing. But I'm wanting to focus on making sure that I get my flats done and that I'm learning something, especially in this knife, because it is a prototype. I can afford to make some mistakes and still be good. I've got my coffee right here. I've got Parks and Rec on the phone. Not currently, but I can pull up Netflix and then I'll be on Parks and Rec. We're set to rock, you guys. Let's get into this.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Get my face in camera now so you guys can actually see the beauty that is me. Right now, kind of where we're at, I had to stop what I was trying to do with the drill. As you could see, maybe, I don't really know if you guys could tell, it was not wanting to drill through it. Am I on the right side? You see the hole? You can kind of see the hole right here. I just flipped you guys off on X. That was a painful burp. Oh, you can kind of see the hole right there. Don't touch hot things. I could not get it to drill through. My guess is when I was quenching this in water to keep it cool while I was grinding, it hardened it up a little bit, or it just work hardened. Either way, I put it through a normalizing cycle, so I've let it heat up to red hot, and then I let it cool down in the forge with the forge off, so it slowly brings that temp down. It's not to where I can touch it yet, obviously, by the fact that I just hurt myself a second ago, but it's getting there. As soon as it gets to that point, I'm gonna throw it back onto my vise. Well, this isn't a vise, this is just a block of wood that I randomly screwed into my desk. But I'm gonna put it back on there, clamp it down, try to drill those holes again. Mostly I'm just waiting for it to cool down so that way I don't melt my grips, because these are plastic and they will melt if this is hot enough. I don't want that. I don't want it to melt. So I've got to wait for this to cool down. The other thing that I've been working on, in addition, come on, there we go, In addition to that is my old touch mark, which is like a stamp that I can put into my knives. It did not look good when I did it in college, so I'm trying to rework it right now. However, it was hardened, so it was really difficult to engrave the design into it that I wanted. So I've heated it up, I've ground the old touch mark off, and I'm gonna try to restart that. So that way, hopefully I can start putting my touch mark into my knives. That's kind of one thing that I need to figure out, is how to get my design and my logo on there. That's kind of like my next step of things that I need to figure out. Whew, okay, I'm done for the day in the blacksmith shop. This has actually been like 3 days of recordings. Really only 2, because I've kind of deleted one of the days now. At least I'm going forward. There's dust on everything on my camera currently. So where the knife is at currently, you can see I've started putting the bevel lines in there. I've had a lot of issues. First of all, this ugly little notch right there. I was trying to do some jimping, which is, 1 second. Okay, this is my ZT 0450. There we go, that's what I thought. Now, let me see if I can get this thing to focus. You see these ridges right up here. That's jimping. Little divots that are cut into the knife. Gives you somewhere to place your finger, and just kind of gives it texture so that way you can get a better grip on the knife. I was trying to do that with this. I've done it a few times and I like the look of it, I like the feel of it. Unfortunately, when I did this one, I was not paying enough attention. Several of them got too close together, several of them got too far apart, and it just did not look good. So I just decided basically just to grind it out with a file, and that's what I came up with. Now it's just a spot where I can place my finger, my thumb. See, there we go. Now it has a purpose. Now it's intentional, and it looks like I did it. No, it doesn't. It looks terrible. I realize that. But if you take that out, I like the look of the knife so far. There have been a lot of issues, though, with it, and I'm going to have to turn you guys around to show you. Okay, so first off, you'll notice this divot line right there. That's really bad. That I can get my finger into that. That's how bad that divot is. On this side, you can see this is raised right there. That's raised right there. This grind actually isn't terrible until you get up here to the front. It's these two mistakes right there that really hinder this side. Also, you can see that thumb hole a little bit better. This grind right here looks really good. This grind right here, probably one of my best grinds I've ever done. I've got a really nice peak right here that goes right to that tip. That's actually a really well done line on my part, and I'm actually really happy about it. This line, it doesn't quite have the same peak. You can see that line comes a little bit underneath where the point is, so I need to fix that, but it's not terrible. You can see I've still got room I need to move here anyways. But lots and lots of issues. Now the reason for those issues is pretty simple. I was trying just some different stuff. This is a knife that I'm not selling. It's just a knife that I'm kind of making for myself just to try some different stuff out. Like I said, this is a prototype for a knife that I do eventually want to come out with more of. But for now, the prototype it's just mine. Like, I don't have any reason to sell it currently. I just wanted to do it. So because of that, I was obviously trying different things. I tried to make my first jig today, a grinding jig. It did not work out at all. I had too sharp of an angle on it. It did not need to be that severe. It needed to be like 3 degrees. And I don't know what I had it at, but it was way too much. It was way too sharp of an angle. Would have given me a really short bevel, and I didn't like it. And then on top of that, this little horn right here makes grinding on it very, very difficult when you're using a jig, because the jig, you want it to be flat, but I have to kind of tilt it like this in order to get this horn out of the way of my plate, off my table, I guess. Otherwise, it wants to get sucked in between the table and the grinder, which is how you get grind marks like that one. That's how that one comes about. It was really sad. It was really sad when I saw it. It was a lot worse. I spent a lot of time trying to grind that out and grind the other side. I need to just grind the other side flat and even again and redo the bevel. I need to kind of do the same thing to both sides. How you doing? Good looking. I'm dumb, I know. Anyways, you guys, I'm probably going to end the vlog here. There's not a whole lot going on. I realize last week I missed the Friday video. This was originally supposed to be a Friday video. I didn't have time Friday to finish the editing. I didn't have time Saturday to finish the editing. And so it's now the Monday video because I'm recording on Sunday. So that's why there was no Friday video. Hopefully you guys this time I will have full 3 days for you. And hopefully I will one day finish this stupid strat roulette video. I promise you that. Anyways, you guys, give it a like, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button, and give it a share if you felt like it deserved it. I greatly appreciate it. I'm fond of all your faces, and I will see you tomorrow.